So if you're a small business owner, online marketing, promoting your brand online is so important these days. And one of the most popular platforms, of course, is LinkedIn. That's what we're talking about this week with a LinkedIn expert, Adam Houlahan. That's coming right up. Okay, so if you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, you're probably grappling with all kinds of things with your social media marketing, your online marketing. One of the key tools you need to be looking at is LinkedIn. Why? Well, today we're talking to LinkedIn expert Adam Houlahan. So welcome, Adam. Thank you for coming along and sharing your expertise.
Thanks, Rob. It's fantastic to be with you, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, now if you guys don't know Adam, you need to follow Adam. Maybe we'll put some links down below to to your LinkedIn profile, of course. And you actually do a lot on Facebook. We might ask you why in a moment. But Adam, maybe we can sort of pick your brains a little bit. So as a small business owner, what should we be doing on LinkedIn and why?
Well, Rob, LinkedIn, if we just sort of step back, LinkedIn, is obviously a great platform to utilize. But regardless of the platform, the reality is, as small business owners these days, we actually need to have two brands at least, which is a personal brand and a company brand. And LinkedIn just happens to be an amazing platform to build both of those in one place. It's also where the high majority of most of our ideal clients or partners that we want to work with are hanging out. So the reality is, of course, the most important platform to be on is not necessarily LinkedIn. It's the platform that the people you need to connect with are on, and LinkedIn is just highly likely to be one of the most likely ones that the very high majority of those people are going to be on.
That's a really good point. And I alluded to the fact that you're very active on Facebook. So tell us why that is.
Well, Rob, I'd say I'm only very active on a Facebook group,
Yeah.
not so much on Facebook itself. Now, sure, we have a company presence on Facebook, but to be honest, just between you and me, and let's not tell anyone, I don't really spend any time on there. Our team does, but the LinkedIn group, the Facebook group is I do spend a lot of time on, and the reason is just simply because one of the best things we can do in building a community is exactly being able to interact with people in a strategic and functional way. And the reality is that LinkedIn groups just aren't that good. There's a lot of great features about LinkedIn. Groups just isn't one of them. And so we always have our group on Facebook, and we always recommend to our clients to be more active in a group sense on Facebook, but in the day-to-day content creation and everything that they do is on LinkedIn.
Fair enough. So can anyone join your Facebook group?
Pretty much, as long as you're not a Bitcoin trader and
Yeah.
or a spammer or or any of those things, we have a zero tolerance to that.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
first offence and you're out of there. But
Yeah.
other than that, all are welcome.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have a chat offline, and maybe I can persuade you to share that link, and we'll put it down below the video. Okay, so let's get back to LinkedIn. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people making with LinkedIn?
Probably, Rob, one of the let me give you the top three. So the number one is that they treat Facebook the same as other platforms, meaning
Well,
that
they treat LinkedIn the same as other platforms.
yes.
Yeah.
So let's just I'm not that I'm looking to name any specifically,
Mm.
but there's a specific way that we interact and do things on, say, Facebook, and how we do things on Instagram, and a lot of people treat LinkedIn exactly the same as that. And the reality is that LinkedIn is a very different platform, and I know you know this very well. Even down to the type of content you use. As an example, you're quite possibly watching this on YouTube, and a longer type of video presentation on YouTube is totally fine and totally expected. You will die a death of 1,000 cuts if you try to share videos on LinkedIn that are more than 2 minutes long. So the number one is kind of not having a strategic strategy specifically designed for LinkedIn. Number two is, and again, Rob, I know from previous discussions you've experienced this, is the old school thing of where people think that LinkedIn's all about just connecting and pitching to people. What its real power is, as we talked about earlier, is building yourself a personal brand and a company brand. And how you do that is really through high value, I should say, content. LinkedIn's very much a content driven platform now. A lot of their algorithms are favoring content creators and are very much punishing the old connect and pitch type of approach, which I'm sure you'll agree is actually a good thing. And the third one is really I got to be careful how I say this, but it's expressing your views in the wrong way. So, your political opinions, religious opinions, things like that are, it's interesting enough, like when I say this is a mistake, it's potentially something you don't see a lot of. And the reason is that LinkedIn probably won't stop you from posting that content. They're going to make sure nobody sees it. So the algorithms are quite, adept at working out what type of content it is, and they suppress content reasonably effective. And now, when I do say that, Rob, often people will say to me, "Oh, but I saw this post that had 100 comments or 1,000 comments or whatever." For every one of those you see, I guarantee there was another 99 you didn't see because LinkedIn's algorithms just suppressed it out of your feed. So they're the top three.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, keep it business focused. It's not Facebook, it's not Twitter. It's interesting where you say, make your content specifically for LinkedIn, because that was a lesson. I guess the penny only dropped for me a couple of years ago. We produce lots and lots of videos for YouTube, and you're probably watching this on YouTube. And I have a really great editor. And what he would do is he would maybe take a 20-minute video and he'd pick a 90-second segment, and we'd put that on LinkedIn, and we'd be saying, for the full video, go to YouTube. And then the penny dropped. Why are we sending people to YouTube? We actually need a 90-second complete piece of content for LinkedIn. So it's a different video, and that's what we do now. So I mean, that's a great point. And I think the key thing that I learned as well recently is the difference between different platforms, because YouTube is a search engine. So if I'm searching on YouTube for what to do with my LinkedIn account, I don't mind finding a 20-minute video and step by step on this is how I do it. But LinkedIn is like a newspaper. It's a news feed. So you got to grab someone's attention, and they're going to have a short attention span. So really great points there. Excellent, Adam.
Yeah, you make very good points there, Rob. That it's 100% correct. And 90 seconds to under 2 minutes is the sweet spot for videos.
Yeah, and it's very hard at first, doing videos that short, but you get used to it, I think. So what are some of the features of LinkedIn that you really like? What are some of the features maybe that people are not aware of that we ought to try out?
It's a good point. I mean, they're constantly updating and releasing new ones. Right now, one of the best ones is called Creator Mode, and it's quite possible that you don't have access to it yet. But to work out whether you do have it or not, if you just go to your account on LinkedIn, or your profile on LinkedIn, doesn't matter whether you do it on desktop or mobile, and you look at the dashboard. There's a dashboard section that only you can see. And down in that dashboard, it'll say Creator Mode and off. If that's there, literally all you have to do is toggle it to on, and it'll activate. What that actually allows you to do, Rob, now is, without getting too technical on it, you can actually have a short intro video, 30 seconds, and it literally is hard limited at 30 seconds, 31 second long, and it won't load. So it has to be at 30 seconds or less. You can go on my profile if you want to have a look at it. If you'll see the profile image of myself, and you can actually click on the profile image and the video will play. There's other features and benefits of creator mode as well, but it's a fantastic way for you to be able to just, animate, I suppose, your profile, and to quickly, give people an insight into the, why they want to connect with you. What's the value that, you're going to be sharing on LinkedIn. So that's creative mode is probably one of my favorites. The other one is LinkedIn polls. So the LinkedIn polls feature, it's not that new now. It's been around for a while, but one thing I'll guarantee you is that you'll get 200 to 300 times more interaction through a poll than you would a standard piece of content. And the reason for that is that, LinkedIn is, as shared earlier, is very much becoming a real content platform, and they actually favor content creators, and they know that polls are something that keeps people on the LinkedIn platform. So one of the worst things you can do is, like you talked about earlier, Rob, was like, have some content and say, for more information, click here, which if that takes people off the LinkedIn platform, then clearly LinkedIn doesn't like that. They want you to stay on platform. So they will punish a post that does that. But in a poll, it clearly keeps the conversation on LinkedIn, and people can either, click one of up to 4 standard responses, or they can engage more, with you as the author. And as you'll see often that there's polls have a lot of engagement, and that's because LinkedIn by default is showing them to more people in your sphere of connections.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I have to confess, I love polls. I'm scrolling through the news feed, and it's human nature, isn't it? We want to share our opinion. We want to have our vote. And I probably vote on 4 or 5 polls a day about all sorts of things, but it counts as engagement. So it's really good for your profile.
Yeah, it definitely is. And if you're very strategic, let's be fair. I see a lot of kind of inane sense
Oh, yeah. Do you
polls.
prefer cats or dogs or whatever? I mean,
Exactly. But realistically, if you're very strategic in the way that you use your polls, you can generate a lot of really good conversations with people about other ways you can help them, or it's a lot of really no different to any other platform, to be honest. But LinkedIn comes down to having a really focused strategy with an outcome that you're working towards, and then your content has to be kind of working towards that outcome as well. It's not just content for the sake of content anymore. There has to be a real strategy behind your content.
I actually do quite a few polls, and I find them valuable. So I'm letting the cat out of the bag here, but I just ran a poll on, if we're going to start doing some more webinars, what length of webinar do you like? And I gave people 4 options. And what's really interesting is, because I'm the author of the poll, I can see who's voted for which option. So I can see my true target market is actually not the highest ranking on the poll. So I want to engage with sort of more senior people in businesses, and I can see which ones they prefer. And then, there's a different option where it seems to be mainly students, and they want a webinar of this length. So it's a really quite a powerful tool if used well.
It is. Another good example is, I know a number of authors who will use the poll features to either test 3 or 4 different versions of the title of their book, or taglines, or things like that. And you get really valuable intel back from hundreds, literally potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of people that it's one thing, especially all of us authors, to come up with what we think's a great title, but it's the proof of the values in the opinion of others. And polls are perfect.
It is a great platform. So here's the ultimate question: is LinkedIn the best platform to be on for business?
Well, it's a loaded question, Rob, and let me answer it like this. It's, and I kind of already alluded to, it is, provided your ideal client is active on LinkedIn. So as an example, if you were, say, a cleaner, run a cleaning business, then maybe LinkedIn is not the best platform unless you do corporate cleaning for. In fact, one of our most successful campaigns we ran with a client was around corporate cleaning. However, the reverse of that would be if you are just looking to connect with mums and dads who want you to come in for 2 hours to clean their house, then no, it's probably not. So the answer to that is it is the best platform. I'm not saying that it's only a B2B platform, because it is not. But what it means is that your ideal clients have to be active on the platform, and if they are, and you have the right content-driven strategy, then by far it is probably the most effective platform you can use. As provided, of course, as I said, you're also kind of building a personal brand and a company brand to accompany it.
No, well, that's great. Well, that's fantastic advice, Adam. Really appreciate that. Maybe just before you go, I mean, your business is actually helping people with their sort of LinkedIn strategies and things, isn't it? So, maybe some people watching this who would like to reach out. What's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, Rob, just obviously connect with me on LinkedIn is one way. You can go to our website. It's just prominence.global.
Yep.
And there's a contact feature on the website there.
Yep.
And easily those are the two simplest ways to get in contact. And our team will get back to you with a bit of information that you can take a look at.
Okay, well, that's excellent. And thank you again for joining us, Adam. There's a little bit of secret sauce involved, I think, with LinkedIn, and you're certainly one of the best guys around in guiding people on what to do with LinkedIn. So we really appreciate your time. And whichever channel you're watching this on, if you're enjoying this video, do think about subscribing if you're not already subscribed. So generally down there, you'll find the red subscribe button. And if you hit the bell, you also get notified every time we have a new video coming out. That's if you're watching this on YouTube. But and do comment down below. I mean, what success have you had with LinkedIn? Have you had, really good success B2B on other platforms? What are some of the challenges you've had with LinkedIn? We'd love to get that feedback. So, and I'll make sure that we put those links so you can connect up with Adam as well. So thank you for joining us. Adam, thanks for joining us once again, and we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, Rob.